Grade 8, how are you, Miss? I'm Islam Al-Umari, your math teacher in Taqarub International School, and our lesson today is lesson 4 from chapter 9, which is actually factoring to solve a quadratic equation. We solved the quadratic equations, if you remember, we solved it by graphing, and we solved a quadratic equation that has, b equals 0. So there is no mid-term or second term. So it has a, a standard, or it has a form for it, which is actually ax squared plus c equals 0. So we solve like this type. Now we will solve today quadratic equations that has form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which is the standard form for a quadratic equation. We solve it by factoring. We will have another methods to solve it, but today the lesson is actually about solving by factoring. And actually this lesson will be an easy lesson for you, because actually we took it, if you remember, we took how to factor quadratic polynomials, and it's the same thing. Yani we will do exactly as we used to do, or as we did in chapter 8. All we have to in chapter 8, which is actually about factoring, polynomials, quadratic, trinomials. Okay, this lesson only you have to do is just to continue. After that, you will find x equals what, or the variable equals what, according to the property zero product property. Zero product property, it tells you that for any real number a and b, if a times b equals 0, you have two options, as you can see here. So if a times b equals 0, so either a equals 0 or b equals 0. Okay, so if these two, as you can see here, if these two binomials multiplying by each other equals 0, so I have two options, either x plus 3 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. And according to this, we just can solve it as we used to solve linear equations. Okay, now let's using first distributive property to solve the equation for t squared plus 1 times t minus 2 equals all equals 0. Actually, I prefer to take one of these problems get it one to solve it. We will solve here. Let's solve Miss D. Okay, I will solve 7n minus 2 multiplying by 5n minus 4 equals 0. The zero property, it tells you that if I have two products, as you can see here, these two binomials, they are two factors, the product of them equals 0. So I have two options for that. إما إنه 7n minus 2 equals 0, or 5n minus 4 equals 0. In the first case here, it's a linear equation, as you can see here. So 7n equals 2. I will transfer 2 to the other side, and here divided by 7, divided by 7. So here n equals 2 over 7. Why I did this? Actually, two steps. I used the inverse operations twice. In the first inverse operation, in the first step, I add 2 since it's subtracted, so I added addition. Inverse operation of subtraction is addition. In the second, it's multiplying by n, so the inverse operation of multiplication is division, so I divided by 7 and get the answer. So this is actually, as you can see here, this is actually one of the, here, one of the two answers here. In the second one, the second case I have it, or the second option that I must solve it, that if these two equal 0, so 5n minus 4 equals 0. Okay, it could be 0. So what I will do, I will transfer negative 4 to the other side, or use the inverse operation, which is addition again. So 5n equals 4, and n equals divided by 5 divided by 5, it's 4 by 5. So this is another answer. How many solutions do I have here? 2 solutions. How can you imagine it? It's good always to use your imaginary and visualize it. I have a parabola that intercepts the x-axis in 2 points. One of them is 2 over 7, the other one is 4 over 5. We solve it, okay? Now, but here, as you can see, let's go to solve the new solution, which is actually, this is, as you can notice here, it's, it's this kind of equation. So it's not written in the standard form. I will solve this type of equation, which is exactly like it. So I will solve got it 3. And got it 3, as you can see here, we will solve x squared plus 14x equals negative 49. Okay? Look, miss, here. Is it written in the standard form for, a quadratic equation? No. It's not written. I should write it. I should move 49, okay, which is actually, this is C, but it's after equal sign, so I will bring it before equal sign. So it will be x squared plus 14x plus 49 equals 0, because I add here 49 and I add here 49, so it's here 0. Is it written in the standard form of a quadratic equation? Yes, it's written. Can I solve it? Yes. How? By factoring. If you remember, we factored before a polynomial that looks like this type, which is actually quadratic trinomial. What did we do? If you remember, we open 2 parentheses. Don't forget to keep 0 and equal to 0. Don't forget to keep it. We split or divide x in the 2 parentheses. 49, we said that I have missed 2 pair of factors. 49 times 1 and 7 times 7. We said that since it's positive, as we said in chapter 8, so the sign of the third term, it tells you that it's the same sign. Positive here, it tells you that it's same positive. So same positive here, same positive here. 49, I will take 7 and 7. Why, miss? Easily, because 7 plus 7 give me 14x. But 49 plus 1, it will be 50. I don't have it in the second term. So I have this, I factored the polynomial. But did I solve the equation? No. How to solve the equation? According to the 0 property, I will say it. I have 2 options. mx plus 7 equals 0, or x plus 7 equals 0. Okay? So x equals negative 7. And x equals negative 7. How many solutions do I have? Actually, this one solution. Imagine one solution. It must be the vertex, right? To find the y, it must be the x coordinate for the vertex. It means that it touches the x, the x-axis in only one point. The x coordinate for it is negative 7. Okay, miss? The whole lesson is talking about this factoring. As you can notice here, I prefer to solve this kind of problems inside the class. We finished the lesson, miss. It's just like factoring on polynomials. I just have extra step that I will use the 0 property to find the answer or the values of x. If you want to practice to understand clear to understand it, you have to practice by solving more exercises. Have a nice day, miss.